can come and add out their unique voices on the issues important to society. My name is Sikwibele, Junior Councillor from Mbeshi Ward and your host, and I'm joined by my fellow Junior Councillor,
Lungu Samson.
And our very special guest from Adaptive Leadership, and I'll let him introduce himself.
Yeah, so my name is Mapalo Chirwa, T. So make sure you check out that T for the next episode that you watch the Youth Read podcast.
Yeah. Alright, so on this segment, we'll be talking about HIV and AIDS. I know HIV and AIDS is a vastly diverse topic that has been talked about a lot, but now let's just make it easy for the viewer out there at home to understand. So, Mapalo, what is HIV and AIDS?
Okay, so there's a huge distinction between HIV and AIDS.
Alright.
So first of all, we're going to simply look at what HIV is, right?
Yes.
So HIV is just simply the human immunodeficiency virus,
Yes.
okay, which attacks the immune system of the body.
Alright.
Alright? So it attacks the defense system of the body, which later weakens the entire body.
Alright.
Now, that's just simply the early stage of the disease, okay? HIV itself. And it later develops into AIDS over time if it's not being treated or cured.
Alright, alright. AIDS. So HIV is like what comes in first, then
Yes,
AIDS
yes,
is
yes,
what
yes.
is what. Okay, but now we've been looking at some statistics, and we've noticed that it's quite alarming seeing high rates of HIV and AIDS, especially amongst us, the youth. Yes, we play too much. We play too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Mapalo, can you just run us through the statistics?
Okay, so the brief statistics that we have is that the HIV prevalence is at 11.6%. Okay, while we're simply having about 1.4 million people who are suffering from this disease, and the larger portion of that number is the youths.
Wow.
The youths, yes.
The youths.
And if I can, get to ask a question, why do you think it's the youths, like that have the
Statistics show this number. Okay, and a lot of youths we have been working in these centers. We've been noticing that a lot of youths have been coming through.
have been coming to?
Yes.
Yeah. So like what I'm trying to ask is that like what have been some of the reasons that they may have given you, like as to why they may think they have the disease. Yeah, they've got HIV.
Now, first of all is that HIV, we know it's a disease that you're supposed to test for.
Yeah.
Okay. So due to the testing that these healthcare services provide,
Yes.
that's why we're able to know that the number of youths are being sick.
Alright.
Okay.
Yeah, but why are us the youth coming through? Huh?
Yeah, it's what
Yeah,
I'm asking. It's what I'm asking.
Okay,
I
but
don't know if you're getting me clearly or-
Personally, I think why us the youth are coming. Let's not lie to each other. Let's not beat around the bush.
Yeah.
We play too much as a youth. We play too much. We sleep around a lot.
Oh, you mean
Yeah,
okay.
we've got more than most youths. When we go back even to our own communities back in the home, the shanty compound, you know that one person has got multiple sexual partners, and I feel according to the research that I did, HIV and AIDS is mostly transferred through sexual intercourse.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's one thing that we cannot run away from. So as the youth, since at this point this is when we're maturing, we're going into adulthood, there is that kind of excitement for us to explore. Yeah, to explore sexually. And that's why I feel maybe that is like a thing that's causing the rate of HIV to be high. Because I was told one thing, Lusaka is one big bedroom. One big bedroom where everyone is sleeping around with the other. Yeah, and that's according to my personal takes. And according to what I've seen back home, I know people who've got multiple sexual partners. He sleeps with this girl, he sleeps with that other girl. Yeah, maybe you guys, you've seen it from a different light.
Yeah, I think for me personally, I have, because where I'm coming from, we are clustered.
Alright.
We are not like distant from one another. So you find that it's just a group of homies. The guy is just growing out.
Yes.
And then from there you get to hear stories about a guy and then a girlfriend, and this is what we did. This time, this is what we did. And then the very friend, you find that he also has another girl. And then you say, oh God, with another girl as well. We've done this. And so but with that ignorance, you can't even see the negative impact that it's going to cause on you. You don't know that maybe that girl, one of the girl, is probably sick or has that virus. And so, having, like you have said, Lusaka being one big bedroom, I feel that there's going to be that spread of that disease. And sexual intercourse, we cannot ignore the fact that, a person can get sick just at birth, from their mothers, from their parents. But, mainly what I've seen is that, we are energetic. as youths. Yeah, because we know this thing, old people, big people will call you, hormonal teenager. That means you are moving with your hormones.
Yeah.
The way you feel and the sexual tension there is very high. So
Appetite.
that's why I feel personally why, as the youths, we are recording such high numbers of HIV, of the disease itself.
Yeah. So, like Samson said, there are a lot of factors that lead to HIV and AIDS. I was privileged to work with adaptive leadership to really discover the main causes.
Yeah.
So, first principle that we learned in adaptive leadership is by owning the problem.
Okay.
Like HIV, it is a problem that us the youths are supposed to step up and own the problem, and us finding an immediate solution to reduce the new infections of what HIV and AIDS. And one of the causes that we had established that a lot of youths, practice unsafe sex.
Yeah.
Okay. Now remember to say that we have different challenges, all right, different walks of life, different aspects of life, right?
Yes.
Yes. So and a lot of people get to practice unsafe sex.
Yeah.
Okay.
Your first pass, my flower, that's it.
No. Yeah.
Because the thing, the alpha flower, I feel like when the opportunity presents itself,
You take
you take it.
Yeah,
Regardless
that's
of
the
where you
mindset
are.
that we have there.
You take it. If it's in the flowers,
You take
you
it.
take it.
But one thing we're forgetting is that
Yeah.
we're meant to prevent HIV. By what means? By condomizing, right?
Yeah.
If abstinence, a lot of people do not really abstain.
Yeah, we're
Okay,
hard to do that.
it's very hard sometimes for other people. But one thing, in one way we're supposed to reduce HIV is by condomizing, and we're not seeing that in a lot of youths nowadays. I had one funny when I was working in Matero.
Yes.
Yeah, one youth was saying you cannot eat a sweet with a wrapper.
Exactly.
Basunga just sweet in a paper,
Yeah.
which doesn't really make sense. It's one of the norms that really a lot of youths fall prey to this norm,
Yeah.
and that's why we're seeing a lot of HIV incidents.
Yeah. And among us, the youth, but because we're focusing on us, the youth. Yeah. Let no one deceive you and tell you that they do not have sexual feelings.
No.
Let no one deceive you. Samson, let no one deceive you. As the youth, for those who are in school, we've done biology, testosterone, estrogen.
No one is
those,
exempted.
those chemicals, once they are exerted in the bloodstream, they cause some funny behaviors. So let no one lie to you and make them seem they're perfect. We just tend to live above our sexual desires. Yeah, we are just living above our sexual desires. It's not that we don't want to. The people that sensitize people about HIV and AIDS, when they tell you abstinence, they don't tell you that seeming as if they're perfect. No. They're telling you that because they know that you can control your sexual appetite.
Yeah, you can control.
Yeah, just control yourself. If you want, condomize. Condomize is the best contraceptive or just best method of preventing HIV. Yeah, but I think we focus more on the sexual aspect. There's also the drug aspect.
Yeah, the drug aspect.
The drug aspect. We've noticed that in our communities, when people are doing drugs, especially drugs that they ingest directly into the bloodstream, they usually share needles.
Needles,
needles. Yeah. So people do not realize that in sharing those needles, even HIV and AIDS can be transferred. Can be transferred. As simple as cutting yourself with a laser blade. Yeah, you can even get the same HIV and AIDS. Yeah, so I feel people should also understand that those are the causes of HIV and AIDS. Imagine going to a hospital, you get tested for HIV and AIDS. No, but I haven't slept with anyone. No, the other ways in which you can get the virus. Yeah.
It's via the sharp, whereby one person has cut himself with a sharp object, and then you too, you get to cut yourself. And I remember my friend was telling me of the new method of getting high.
Yes.
He said, okay, since I'm not now, but some people what they are doing is that I don't know if it's true, but I believe because he's really into my research and all that. So he was saying that you get your main drug, then one person injects it into himself, and then after it diffuses into the blood, then bit by bit you begin to get the blood out of him, and then you begin to
repump the blood.
Yeah, we pump it into other people, and then they too get high. So you're directly transferring blood from the person to other persons. And if that person is sick, then that means they all broke. If it is 10 of you, you are gonna get sick.
And drug abuse has been one of the most predominant causes of HIV and AIDS. Aside from sharing needles, also remember to say that a drug okay,
Yeah.
inhibits your thinking capacity.
Yeah, it alters with the chemistry of the brain.
Yes, exactly. So now here's the situation: you have a couple who are abusing drugs,
Abusing
a young
drugs.
couple, not really necessarily a couple though.
Yeah,
They are abusing drugs.
Just abusing it, just
Yeah.
together.
Yeah. Now remember to say that the function of the brain is being altered.
Mhm.
Okay. Now, would you think that that couple will remember to condomize
No.
before even
No.
having sex?
No.
So that's one of the challenges that's really causing HIV cases to go very high.
Alright.
Why? Because of drug abuse. I
Yeah.
think you've heard of small bars called shabins, right?
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah. Why they're selling alcohol to even young people?
Yeah,
Wow.
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 I've heard of that. And again, when you're talking about the brain,
Yes.
the way drugs are is that when someone takes in drugs, they tend to get excited. And what happens when you're excited is that your brain releases a kind of hormone, dopamine.
Dopamine, yes.
Yeah, dopamine is responsible for the excitement of a person, the sexual tension, the build-up of the sexual feelings. And so when persons, they are under any kind of excitement that might arise from, taking drugs, abusing drugs, or maybe, hanging around with friends of, bad company, and then there's that build-up of dopamine, then you find that sexual desire will arise, and, like living in a clustered area, like from where I'm coming from, Matero, and, maybe not even, like
Yeah.
a clustered area, but so long, levels of prostitution are high.
Yeah.
300.
Okay. So
So-
much dwelling on that one is that Samson is that a lot of parents out there,
Yeah.
once they have a daughter, they'll just see one hour go akula.
Mm-hmm.
Find yourself way out.
Yeah,
what
that's the
way?
thing.
If someone is not so innovative, they'll resort to prostitution.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that has caused a lot of HIV incidences.
Mhm.
From where we're coming from.
Yeah, the social aspect of why HIV and AIDS has that's because that was my next question. The
Mhm.
social aspect. Of course, you've
Okay.
already brought up the aspect of the standard of living is high. But let's not even go to that. As the youth, most of us, we've got parents and we've got guardians that are providing for us.
Yeah.
But due to peer pressure, let me just give an example. One time I was on this to my famous taxi is Yango, and then I was with the driver, and then we heard the increase in cases of HIV is high. And then he was like, and then the Yango driver was like, "What's your girlfriend? We are eating her." And then she'll be the same one who will give you HIV and AIDS. Because what happens that I'm not attacking the female. I'm not attacking females. Please. Don't call me wrong. This is just a scenario, an example of a scenario. Right? Let's say we've got this girl. She's got her friend. Her friend is living the life. She's enjoying the saka and its many pleasures. Yeah. But now she is not in that financial position to also enjoy the saka. Yeah. So what happens that as a way of looking for money, she results in going with sugar daddies, people who've got money. Yeah, of course she might have like a boyfriend like me who's broke. Yeah, she might have
probably funding you.
Yeah, she's probably also funding me. And then let's say she starts going out with this man. She doesn't know who this man sleeps with, but she sleeps with that man. She gets HIV and AIDS. Me, of course, I'm a boyfriend. I also want to sleep with you, but I end up sleeping with you. I also get HIV and AIDS, and then I end up not doing lamb. You see, because of the social aspect. As young people, we want to be there. We want to be showing, especially for females. Females, according to research, you can research this. Females are more likely to be influenced than men. So it is due to that influence that you can find yourself engaging yourself in prostitution, in risky sexual behaviors, just for you to have like a public appearance at Uchiting. Yeah, so that the social aspect is also increasing to the high levels of HIV and AIDS. Yeah, but now let's draw away from that. What if someone has got HIV and AIDS? We're not condemning, of course. What can we do to help them?
Okay, so one most commonest thing is that if somebody has HIV, is that the best thing they're supposed to visit youth-friendly spaces. Each and every hospital has got that friendly space.
Yes.
Okay, where the youths can actually visit and feel free and open up to those people that are found there.
Yes.
Okay, once they do that, they're able to know that they have a space where they can feel loved and cared for. Okay, so make sure if there's a few out there who's so afraid to open up about their problem, please see any youth-friendly space.
Contact us. We'll help you. We'll
In
help you.
locating a youth-friendly space that is near your area.
Yes.
Because this is where a place where you have people that are specialized to advise you or to get the adequate information that you need about HIV and AIDS.
Yes.
Okay, so once you visit those spaces, nobody will judge you, nobody will condemn you. Feel free, walk up to them, tell them your problem.
Yes.
Yeah, and
We
that's
will
what.
be able to help you.
Oh, sorry. And that's why we are here as the Youth Erudite Podcast. We are not here to condemn, but rather to help you.
Exactly.
To help you. We are youths. We are supposed to be the future leaders of tomorrow.
Yes.
But then I was saying, what if that future is today? That tomorrow we bring it today. We begin to do the things we should do tomorrow. We do them today.
Yes.
As the youths.
Yeah.
And like he has said here, Mapalo, condomizing. If you cannot, abstain, then you do all it takes to condomize.
Yes.
Because you are risking a generation.
Exactly.
Exactly. And that usually goes for sexually active people already.
Yeah.
If you're already active, you practice sex already, condomize.
Yeah.
But if you're a potential viewer who's watching out there, that you're still the way you are,
Yeah.
it's just better that you abstain.
Yeah.
Because once you get into this, there's no going back.
Yeah. You find yourself on benzodiazepine for the rest of your life. All right.
Yeah, so Mapalo, having said a lot, about the people that get the HIV whilst they, proceed in life. So what about those that are born with it?
Okay, now remember we mentioned one important aspect later on, that HIV is a virus that enters our bodies, right?
Yeah.
Now remember to say that this is a virus that attacks our immune system, okay? Specifically the CD4 cells. Yes? And now remember to say that that amount of HIV viruses in our bodies refer to what we call the viral load. So that load, when it's too high, that's when now when people go for testing, they're able to see that they have the HIV virus there. Alright? Now, people who are being treated by the ART program, they call it ART, which is the anti-retro viral program, where they get to be treated and the CD4 cells are being maintained. Okay, where there is what we call a viral suppression, okay, of HIV viruses number in our bodies. Now, people who are living with AIDS are being treated by different ways, such as ARVs.
Yeah.
They're having those ARVs.
The most common one.
Yes. So where they're being treated here and there, and the number of HIV viruses is being broken. Yes. So now, when people are being treated who are living with AIDS, they're being treated using that. And now we have different ways in which you can also prevent people from getting AIDS. Yes. For example, we have the PrEP and PEP.
The PrEP and PEP. What's that?
Yeah. So PrEP is pre-exposure prophylaxis. When one sleeps with an infected person, okay, or they know that their partner is infected, they might take that in order for them to prevent from getting the HIV virus.
Okay.
Then post-exposure, after having sex with an infected person, they also take that. And that can only be provided in health centers.
In health centers.
Yes.
I saw that you have said the PrEP and that. So does it completely cure you from the HIV?
No, it only
It only
suppresses.
suppresses it.
Yes.
Okay.
So that simply means that it can only be suppressed to a level where it cannot be detected.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. But now let's look at the availability of these same products, the ARVs, the PrEP. Because obviously, someone hearing like, even if I sleep around, it's PrEP. Yeah, but how are these drugs? Are they vastly available in our pharmacies, hospitals? What are the levels of the ARVs that we have? Because of course we've got a high number of infected people.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do we have enough ARVs to cater for each and every one?
So one thing is that the government has been working tirelessly.
All right.
But one thing is that these drugs are not readily available for anyone. You just go in and say, no, I want PrEP and PEP. No.
All
Okay. You have to visit these health centers for these drugs. And one thing is that these drugs are mostly prioritized for people already infected. Okay. So one thing is that these drugs might run out of, they might have a shortage, but the government is trying by all means at least to cater for people who are suffering from this disease, so that at least they might access these services. And these can be mainly found in pharmacy, health centers.
All right. Health centers. But now, let's look at another fraction of the people in Zambia. They say truck drivers.
Yeah, the truck drivers. Yeah, someone I liked it that they're the most endangered species.
Yeah, they're endangered truck drivers. Our fathers driving the trucks by the borders. We've been doing. They tend to have HIV and AIDS. Maybe we can just shed more light on why.
Yeah, okay, we don't really know what's going on there, or maybe the levels of HIV. So we're just hoping maybe you can get to
open up our minds. Yeah.
Okay, so one thing that we should know is that those people have queues. Okay, they have queues, like your products at the border, your goods to come in, they delay. Alright, so what usually happens is that a lot of youths in those localities, okay, remember those localities are mostly villages, and they're poorly developed. Yeah, so what usually happens is that those people from the borders would want to, have sex with someone. Okay, and they easily pay people. Mostly they are girls at the borders. That's why we're seeing a high rise of number of HIV incidences with these people. Even the youth surrounding those areas. But the government has also been trying tirelessly to improve these mobile centers. Okay, where they can try to cancel these truck drivers and all.
Yeah, and even sensitization for people who don't know, the government is working tirelessly to send people in villages where they're sensitized about HIV and AIDS, because people who do not have information about a certain subject risk being exposed. Being exposed. That's why the government is working tirelessly. The Salasticans, of course.
The Salasticans,
they're working tirelessly to make sure that people get educated. All right. And also on ways, hospitals, there is free counseling. My older sister is a doctor. She counsels people who come in the test for HIV. Some people obviously get depressed, they feel like killing themselves, but you're having HIV and AIDS. That is not the end
of the world.
That is not the end of your story. Trust me, you can prevail and you can actually do something with your life. It's not that once you get HIV and AIDS, it ends there, life is completely ruined. No. There's still plenty that you can achieve. So let's have our concluding remarks. Samson, what are your takes?
Okay, I feel, before I can even get to speak, I feel we have spoke, a lot about the ones that are having sex, the ones that are abusing drugs. But then what about those that, they were just born with it?
Okay, yes, like Innocent said, having this virus doesn't mean the end of the world, no. You still have a chance to correct things. Okay? By encouraging those who have this particular virus to also do better. Okay? You as an individual who's having this virus, that doesn't mean the world is over. You're hanging yourself, you are on a mast, you're trying to jump. No. But rather, it must be a call. Because I've worked with awesome people in adaptive leadership. Some of these people have this same very virus, but they're working towards a positive change by owning the problem and caring for the next generation.
Okay.
Yes, that is very inspiring.
Yeah, so what you're saying is, you have someone with the disease and they're trying, to advocate for people to abstain or to rather avoid and prevent.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Because I was privileged to work with one of them.
Okay.
Very humble, very good.
That's very inspiring.
And you with the virus and you're trying, to hide, your self-esteem is low. Don't do that. You've heard from, the specialist. You've heard from him. There are people with the disease that are trying all it takes to actually, advocate and tell other people that even though you have this, even though there's this, you might, it's a circumstance that you did not choose, but you were just born with it. But don't try to embrace it, don't try to hide it as well, but do what you can to actually, tell someone about it, how they can avoid it, and the ways on how it has impacted and distracted your life, so that they can have that that hope and the joy to do something in their lives.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I think.
And also my concluding remarks is that coming from where we come from, us the compound, the shanty compound, there's this guy saying, "Matenda tigawana." Matenda tigawana. So I feel such people who say that are very toxic.
Very toxic.
They are very you don't know what they've been through in life for them to come up with such a statement, but such people need to be avoided. If you have got HIV and AIDS, feel free to reach out. There's a number on the page. Contact us. We'll direct you to where you. We are your junior counselors. We are there for you. So if you feel that you're going through certain issues, always feel free to share your thoughts with us. Send us a message. Comment your thoughts about HIV and AIDS. And I think I'll be seeing you guys in the next segment.